This was one of the most stunning, effective, and powerful displays of American military might and competence.
The United States military conducted an apprehension mission in Caracas, Venezuela, to bring to justice two indicted persons, Nicolas and Cilia Maduro. This operation, known as Operation Absolute Resolve.
Saturday, January 3rd, 2026, 2:00 a.m. In an instant, the city of Caracas didn't just go dark, it went silent. This was the blackout of the century, but it wasn't a power failure. It was the digital guillotine of Operation Absolute Resolve. High above the clouds, over 150 American aircraft, F-35s, B-1 bombers, and the legendary Night Stalkers of the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment were screaming toward a single target. This wasn't a war for territory or oil. It was a $50 million hunt for a man the U.S. government no longer viewed as a president, but as the world's most powerful drug kingpin. For 12 years, Nicolás Maduro lived like a god. He danced on stages while his people picked through trash to eat. He mocked the DEA, laughing at the $15 million bounty once on his head. But today, the music has stopped. To understand how we got here, we have to look into the shadows of the Cartel de los Soles, the cartel of the suns. In the world of narcos, usually, the military is the enemy. But in Venezuela, the military was the board of directors, used military planes to fly tons of white powder. They used the National Guard to protect convoys. The U.S. alleges that since 1999, Maduro and his inner circle, including his wife Cilia Flores and his son Nicolas, turned an entire nation into a high-security warehouse for the world's most violent cartels. But this isn't just a story about drugs and money. It's a story about a betrayal so deep it broke a nation. While Maduro and his inner circle allegedly laundered billions through shell companies, nearly 8 million Venezuelans fled their homes. Maduro allegedly provided a haven for the Sinaloa cartel, allowing them to build clandestine airstrips in the Venezuelan state of Zulia. In exchange, a cocaine tax that funded the regime's survival while the rest of the country starved. But he needed enforcers. He needed someone to handle the dirty work on the streets. That's where Tren de Aragua comes in. This prison gang grew into a transnational monster under Maduro's wing. They became his street-level army, terrorizing the population and running the human smuggling routes that became a political firestorm across the hemisphere. It wasn't a government, it was a global crime franchise. Maduro didn't start at the top. He was a bus driver who rose to become the hand-picked successor of Hugo Chavez. When Chavez died in 2013, he left Maduro the world's richest oil reserves. But Maduro chose a different path. Instead of building a legacy of governance, he built a legacy of defiance. He inherited a socialist dream and turned it into a narco nightmare. By the time the world realized what Venezuela had become, the Suns were already in control. The turning point came when the U.S. raised the bounty to a record-breaking $50 million. That's more than the reward for the head of ISIS or Al-Qaeda. The U.S. knew Maduro was hiding in a fortress within a fortress, inside the Fort Tiuna military complex. They had built a full-scale replica of his house in a secret location where Delta Force spent months practicing the breach. Industrial blowtorches to slice through reinforced steel safe rooms. Reports say Maduro and his wife were caught before they could even reach their secure bunker. Within 30 minutes, the kingpin president was in a helicopter, headed for the USS Iwo Jima. Imagine the terror in that room. The man who thought he was untouchable suddenly realized that Even the most powerful walls in South America couldn't stop American resolve. Back in Venezuela, the air is thick with tension. Delcy Rodriguez, known as the Tsarina, has stepped into the vacuum as acting president. She's an iron-fisted loyalist, and the military, for now, is standing by her. But the streets are empty, the people are waiting. The military knows that if they split, the country burns. Maduro is gone, but his ghost still haunts the halls of Miraflores. As Maduro makes his first appearance in a Manhattan federal court today, Monday, January 5th, the world is watching. His vice president calls it a vile kidnapping. But for the mothers in Caracas who couldn't find milk for their babies, while the regime celebrated at five-star resorts, this is the first time they've seen the scales of justice balance in a generation. He faces charges of narco-terrorism, cocaine importation, and weapons possession. Attorney General Bondi says the U.S. will prove that Maduro used cocaine as a weapon of war to destabilize the United States. If he loses this trial, at 63 years old, he will die in an American prison. No more rallies, no more power, just the weight of his own choices. The fallout is global. The UN Security Council is meeting today. Critics are calling this a dangerous precedent. They argue that if the US can snatch a sitting head of state, no leader is safe. But the Trump administration is doubling down, calling it a law enforcement action against a criminal organization that happened to occupy a palace. This isn't just about Venezuela. It's about the future of international law. The Cartel of the Suns has finally set. Whether you see this as a triumph of justice or a dangerous precedent of American power, one thing is undeniable: the world of global crime just lost its most powerful protector. The hunt is over, the trial has begun, and the kingpin president is finally facing the one thing he couldn't buy, threaten, or dance away from: the truth. What do you think? Did the U.S. go too far, or was this the only way to stop a narco state? Is Delcy Rodriguez a new hope, or just Maduro 2.0? Let us know in the comments below. If you want more deep dives into the lives of the world's most dangerous cartel personalities, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications.